My girlfriend gave a tribute to all her ex-boyfriends at our wedding. I'm Norman, 29, and my ex, Geraldine, is 27. We'd been together 3 years and were supposedly at the happiest point in our relationship, or so I thought. We met at a friend's gathering. She was my co-worker's cousin. From the start, she struck me as incredibly cheerful, the kind of person whose energy lit up any room, outgoing, fun, always smiling and infectious. I'm the opposite, quiet, reserved, more of a listener than a talker. Maybe that's why we worked. We balanced each other. The first couple of years were stable. No major fights, no real crises. Geraldine was affectionate, thoughtful, and talked a lot about our future. Early on, she started hinting at marriage. At first I thought it was just dreamy talk, but she grew more insistent, saying it was time to get serious and she didn't want to waste more years without direction. I never felt pressured, just surprised. I always figured marriage would happen when we both felt ready. Still, one day out of nowhere she showed me a list of potential venues. I laughed and said, "I haven't even proposed yet." She looked dead serious and replied, "But you will." And she was right. A few months later, over dinner with her parents, I proposed. No fireworks, no movie moment, just an intimate evening and a ring. She cried from joy. It was one of the most genuine, happiest moments we ever shared. After that, it was all wedding planning. We married a year later. She wanted a big wedding, tons of guests, live music, elegant venue. I would have preferred small and intimate, but I agreed because I wanted her happy. Organizing it was chaos. Time flew, budgets ballooned. We argued over tiny things like flower colors or the guest list. Still, the final result was stunning. Warm lights, white and gold floral arrangements, a rose arch at the entrance straight out of a fairy tale. A few weeks before the wedding, she casually asked while we were finalizing invitations, "Would you mind if I invited some of my exes?" I thought she was joking and laughed. She was completely serious. Some were important parts of my life. I haven't seen them in years, but it would be nice to close those chapters, don't you think? I was speechless for a second, then said no, it made no sense to invite exes to our wedding. She shrugged with an innocent smile. "It's just mature. You could invite your ex too if you want." I said I wouldn't and preferred she didn't either. She sighed, said fine, and I thought that was the end of it. The wedding day came faster than expected. I woke up nervous but excited, getting ready with my groomsmen at the hotel. Jokes, beers, reminiscing. Geraldine was in another suite with her bridesmaids. I didn't see her until the ceremony. When she walked in, everyone went quiet. She looked breathtaking in a long lace gown and shoulder-length veil, smiling hugely as she came down the aisle. The altar was draped in white flowers, soft lighting, jasmine in the air, string quartet playing gently, pure magic. We exchanged vows. Hers were long and emotional, saying I was her calm after the storm, that she'd learned real love with me and wanted to grow old together. I got choked up. She cried. I fought to keep my voice steady. It felt perfect. Signing the register, applause, photos, rice toss, everything flawless. The reception was amazing. Great food, upbeat music, everyone laughing and dancing. Even my reserved parents were having fun. My mom whispered, "You can tell she loves you by the way she looks at you." Geraldine was glowing. During our first dance, she couldn't stop smiling, that tender, triumphant look like she was living her dream. Then mid-dance, she leaned in and whispered, "Honey, I have to do something quick. Hope you don't mind." Before I could ask, she let go and ran to one of her bridesmaids who was wheeling out a projector and laptop. Geraldine grabbed the mic, voice booming, "Everyone attention please. I want to say a few words. Today is one of the happiest days of my life. I love you, Norman. I want to live with you until we're 80 in a house full of kids and grandkids. But it's also worth thanking the people who were part of my journey and, in a way, helped get us here today. Some polite applause. I smiled, assuming she meant parents or deceased relatives. Then the projector lit up a blank wall. First slide, black background, gold letters, tribute to my ex-boyfriends. I froze, waiting for the punchline, for everyone to laugh and her to say it was a joke. No one laughed, just confused murmurs. Geraldine stood there beaming like it was the sweetest thing. Next slide, photo of a teenage boy in a school uniform, captioned Miguel. She said warmly, "This is Miguel, my first love. We only lasted 6 months, but he taught me how to feel. He was also the one who took my virginity. It hurt, but he was so gentle. Wherever he is, I still hold a special place for him." Dead silence. I stood paralyzed in the middle of the dance floor as she went on to the next slide. "Marty, my first job." She giggled. "If he hadn't cheated on me, he'd be the one up here today. He taught me how to love and how to hate. And honestly, the bedroom techniques I learned from him are why Norman fell for me, haha." Still no laughter from the crowd, just horrified stillness. My face burned with humiliation in front of friends, family, co-workers, my parents. Next slide was coming. Sam, the impossible office love. When something inside me snapped. "Enough," I roared. The music cut out. Everyone turned. Geraldine looked shocked. "What's wrong, honey?" "It's just a little tribute." "Are you insane?" I yelled, voice cracking with rage and shame, storming toward her. I grabbed the projector and smashed it on the floor. Glass shattered, laptop crashed, screen went black. Guess screamed. "You idiot. How could you think this was okay?" Geraldine finally seemed to realize what she'd done. I looked around at the horrified faces. My mom crying, dad's fists clenched, friends frozen. "The wedding is over," I shouted. "Everyone get out." My best friend Logan and others rushed to pull me away while my mom blocked Geraldine from coming near me, telling her to stay away from her son forever. Geraldine kept trying. "It was just symbolic, we can still continue." My older sister Tina suddenly appeared, grabbed Geraldine by the hair, spun her around and slapped her so hard she collapsed. Geraldine's parents rushed to her but said nothing. They looked as mortified as everyone else. My friends dragged me out to a private cabin on the grounds. I was shaking, hyperventilating, barely able to stand. They gave me water, my mom stroked my hair saying, "It's over." My dad told people to put phones away. I just sat there in a daze for hours until my parents took me home. Geraldine never called that night or the next day. 3 days later I went back to our apartment. The door was unlocked. Her perfume hit me as I walked in. She was curled up on the couch under a blanket, eating popcorn, watching a movie like nothing happened. She smiled. "Honey, I've been waiting days. Let's talk." I told her to get out. She stood calmly. "We're alone now, you don't have to play tough guy. You love me too." I said she destroyed me in front of everyone. She insisted it was my fault for not letting her invite the exes, that it was meant to be beautiful closure. When she started undressing, saying we could make up in bed like always, I felt pure revulsion. "You disgust me. I wouldn't touch you with a 10-foot pole." I grabbed her arm, marched her to the door, and pushed her out while she begged and sobbed. She pounded on the door for a while, then finally left. 2 months later I haven't heard a word from her. No calls, no messages, nothing. I'm grateful she vanished. Getting back to normal life hasn't been easy. People still give me pitying looks or say, everything happens for a reason. The apartment still has traces of her, a sweater, perfume, a mug, but when I think of her now it feels empty, like a story that happened to someone else. I don't hate her anymore, I just feel nothing. Work, gym, walks, books, slowly filling the days. The pain is still there, but it no longer paralyzes me. That wedding ended more than a relationship. It ended an illusion, that love alone is enough. Real love requires respect, empathy, boundaries, and basic common sense. Geraldine was the most painful mistake of my life, but also the greatest lesson. As tragic as that day was, it marked the beginning of something new, my life without her.